Hi.
Hi, my name's Lam. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My name is Ben.
How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And you?
I'm okay.
And what do you do?
I'm a second year student. What about you? What do you do?
I'm a teacher. I teach English. And how old are you?
I'm a second year. I don't know. I'm 19 years old. What about you? How old are you?
I'm 100 years old. And do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend?
No, I haven't. I haven't got a boyfriend. What about you? Have you got a girlfriend?
I have a girlfriend, yeah. And how many siblings have you got?
I've got no siblings. What about you? How many siblings have you got?
I have 5 brothers and 5 sisters. Yeah? No. I have one brother. One brother. And where do you come from?
I come from Hanoi City. What about you? Where do you come from?
I come from the USA. So, how often do you visit your family?
I visit my family every day. What about you? How often you visit your family?
I visit my family every day too. No, I visit them once a year. Once a year. And who do you usually go home with?
I usually go home alone. What about you? Who do you usually go home with?
I usually go home alone too. And when do you usually go back?
I usually go back to your hometown.
Your hometown? Yeah. I mean, you're from Hanoi, yeah?
Yes.
So you're always in your hometown. So, yeah, when do you usually go back to your hometown?
I usually go back to my hometown every day.
Yeah, fair enough. And how do you? How did I ask that again? What do you usually do after you go back home?
I usually do after
What do you usually do after you go back home?
after going back home. I usually cook dinner. What about you? What do you usually do after going back home?
After going back home, I take a nice shower. And get clean. And then I eat a lot of food. And then I go to sleep. And how do you go back home?
I usually go back to my hometown by bus.
Bus? And why don't you take an airplane?
Because it's too expensive for me.
And why don't you just walk?
I don't like on foot.
Okay. And why don't you take a bicycle?
Because it's too far from here to my hometown.
Okay.
How about you? How do you usually go back to my hometown?
Whose hometown? Your hometown or my hometown?
I'm sorry. What about you? How do you usually go back to your hometown?
I usually swim.
No.
No, I have to take an airplane back to my hometown. It was nice to meet you. Was it nice to meet me? Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hello, my name's Long. Nice to meet you.
My name is nice to meet you too.
How are you today?
I'm very well. What about you?
I'm okay. Where you come from?
I come from Hải Dương province. What about you? Where do you come from?
I come from Hanoi City. What do you do?
I'm a first year student. And you, what do you do?
I'm a second year student. How old are you?
I'm 18 years old. And you, how old are you?
I'm 19 years old. Have you got a girlfriend?
No, I haven't. I haven't got a girlfriend. What about you? Have you got a boyfriend?
No, I haven't. I haven't got a boyfriend. How many siblings have you got?
I've got a sister. What about you? How many siblings have you got?
I've got no siblings. How long have you been here?
I've been here for about 1 year. And you, how long have you been here?
I've been here for many years. How often do you visit your family?
I visit my family once a week. And you, how often do you visit my family?
I visit my family every day. Who do you usually go home with?
I usually go home alone. What about you? Who do you usually go home with?
I usually go home alone too. What time do you usually go home?
I usually go home at 1 p.m. What about you? What time do you usually go home?
I usually go home at 6 p.m. What do you usually do after going back home?
After going back home, I usually go out. What about you? What do you usually do after going back home?
After going back home, I usually have a shower. When do you usually go back to your hometown?
I usually go back to your hometown but at the weekend. What about you? When do you usually go back to your hometown?
I usually go back to your hometown to my hometown on holiday. Who do you usually go back to your hometown?
I usually go back to my hometown by coach
Why don't you go by bus?
because I get car sick when I go by bus.
Why don't you go by taxi?
Because the too expensive for me.
Why don't you go by motorbike?
Because I haven't got a motorbike. And you? How do you usually go back to your hometown?
I usually go back to my hometown by bus.
Why don't you go by coach?
I don't like
Why don't you go by car?
because I haven't got a car.
Why don't you go by bicycle?
Because it's too far from here to my hometown. How far is it from here to my hometown?
It's about 100 kilometers. What about you? How far is it from here to your hometown?
It's about 40 kilometers. How long does it take you to go back to your hometown by coach?
It takes me about 3 hours. What about you? How long does it take you to go back to your hometown by bus?
It takes me about 1 hour. How much does it cost you to go back to your hometown by coach?
It cost me about $2. What about you? How much does it cost you to go back to your hometown by bus?
It cost me about $2. How long do you usually take to how long do you usually stay at home?
I usually stay at home for about 2 days. What about you? How long do you usually stay at home?
I usually stay at home for 1 day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Okay, see you later.
See you later.